I dare I say it, but I do really think tall poppy syndrome is such a thing for us in Australia.
Do you know if you say it to an American, they're like, what?
I know.
Tall puppy? What's a tall puppy? They literally have no idea of the concept. They don't understand it. And just to put it into perspective, when I've met with like agents and reps in America, I'm like, oh, I'm also a nutritionist and author. And they're like, oh, amazing. And then noting it down because they can cast you as those things. So to them, added stuff is a bonus. One of my dreams is to have some really big wins over there and then be able to come back home and work as well. But it is the path that I'm taking is definitely making in America and then come back.
You do have to cut the noise out though, because I do feel like we do play pretty small in Australia, and to kind of have those bigger opportunities, lots of people end up moving.
Do you know there's so much amazing film in Australia though? There's not a huge amount of reps. And so you've got to kind of like have the credits to get the good acting reps. And for me, I'm like, great, I'll go to America, get the credits, and then hopefully that'll take me on. Because the work that is created here is beautiful. The training that you can get in Australia is like none other. So there is great opportunity here. It's just a smaller pool and therefore less opportunity, unfortunately. But the art, the stuff that's being created is so good.
Also, Matt has joined you, your partner.
Yes.
In more recent months.
He's been there a year as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So how's that been different this time? Is that, I would imagine, has been really nice to share together?
So nice. I mean, Matt's a composer, so we're both in this melting pot of creativity in LA, which feels really nice. It's so fun to have your buddy and to feel like it's you two kind of against the world. And yeah, if I do an audition and don't get a call back, you know, I've got my buddy to be like, no, you'll get the next one. Don't worry. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Was that when he wasn't there and you would get like, there would
so much rejection.
Hard.
Well, I think I've talked to you about this before, but that's why I froze my eggs, because I was like, holy shit. Am I allowed to swear?
Yes.
I was like, holy shit.
We're all adults.
But I was like, this dream is going to take, and they say it's a minimum of 5 years to make it in LA. Some people say 8. I don't want to get to the end of that 5 years or 8 years and then be like, oh, we've missed an opportunity there as well. And so that was one of the reasons, because I realized how hard it would be to make it in the timeline that I had kind of set in my head, which was silly to set a timeline anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
But also even that process, like you were pretty public with sharing that you were freezing your eggs.
Yeah.
Well, you froze embryos.
Yes. Good memory.
Smart. I don't forget things.
Yeah.
But I think that was probably a big decision as well, but a smart decision, I have to say. Just the success rates of embryos versus eggs. And I'm not saying that to anybody that's listening going, oh crap, I froze eggs because I don't have a partner.
I would have done that though. Here's how naive I was. I was like, to my specialist, I was like, okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to freeze X amount of eggs, and then we're going to turn some of them into embryos. And then after that, we're going to donate the surplus of what's left over after that to Queer Group. The specialist was like, right. So that's going to take quite a lot of rounds. And I was like, oh no, this is going to be a one and done situation. They're like, no, it's not. One round is usually, we call it the trial round.
How many rounds did you have to do, if you don't mind me asking?
I only did one. I didn't need one round.
And how was that on your body?
Well, I found out I had PCOS and I got that hyperstimulation thing, which can get really scary really quick. So I had to like throw out the trigger drug, and they bought my procedure to collect the eggs forward. I got pretty scared in amongst all that. And to be honest, kind of cost me a little bit of my mental health as well. Physical, I put on like a fair bit of weight as well after.
It's a lot of focus on what the lead up to the process, and then it's kind of like, oh, well, that's done now. But the recovery for you took a little while.
Yeah. It took heaps of time and took a lot of mental health help. So I have a psych, so he's the best thing ever. And I figured out, I saw him just last week, and I figured out I'm 39, and I started going to him when I was 31. And in that week of the procedure, and then you've got, you know how with the embryos, they call you up every few days and tell you how many have
your little
survived.
Updates.
Yeah, that was the worst. I was not prepared for that. That was one of the hardest for me. I just had to have 3 emergency therapy sessions because I wasn't able to emotionally absorb and digest it properly.
And you're pumped full of hormones at this point in time too, right?
And they've all crashed and plummeted,
yes,
right?
So you've gone like on a roller coaster and then you're trying to process information. Again, this is why we talk about these things for other people that are going into that or thinking about it. I think it's good for them to have information to go, okay, well, maybe I need my psych on standby, and maybe I need my partner to understand that I might feel a little bit out of my body or whatever's going on. Everyone's different. There's no book that you check and look at symptoms and signs.
Also, I'm being 39 now. I did it at 36. I think I was like a week from 37. I reckon around my mid-30s, I learned what my Achilles heels were just in my own personality. And therapy's been a game changer for me. So I knew that that was something I had to nurture throughout, or I have to throughout my life nurture that. Otherwise, the wheels start falling off.
But I mean, I don't know why we think that we can do everything on our own. We don't need to, firstly. But when we recruit our little cheer squad, life just gets better, right? People come to us, or we have friends or people in our lives that help us to be better. I don't know, as a health provider as well, and with your experience and expertise, sometimes like, oh, I know what to do. And in actual fact, you still need someone in your corner to cheer you on.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big believer in like outsourcing people that are like better at stuff than I am, whether it be having a good bookkeeper, whether it be like, I would much rather get the help from people that, one, are passionate about that topic and two, are better at it than me to help me. Otherwise, I'm just going to like not do a good job and take too long getting something. I'm quite impatient, if I'm honest.
Well, I also think it takes away from like you being in your flow as well. Like low vibe tasks takes you out of that state and really pulls you down.
Yeah.
I know that I definitely have found myself there many times going, why am I doing this? I'm not even good at it. I can do it, but I'm terrible at doing it.
Well, I don't know how you have the time. You got kiddos, you're practicing, you know, like you're go nonstop.
Lots of help. It's not just me.
Yeah.
You know, a team of people.
Yeah.
Got to have for whatever it is, whether it's psych or trainer or even people in your business that are doing like bookkeeping, things like that.
But you're self-managed, aren't you?
Yes.
That's wild. Amazing.
Everything's in-house these days.
Yeah.
But I've got a team in-house to do all the things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's not me doing all of it. I just employ the right people.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
It's easier.
I don't know. I love having managers because I'm like, what do you reckon? They're like a sounding board. I'm like, what do you think?
I know. But they go out there and do that kind of, they got the ear to the ground too.
Yeah.
Anyway,